Namaste everyone, I am Gyan and you are watching the session 6 of Java and Web, Constructors. In this video, we will learn about the constructor overloading in Java. Constructors are methods, so their overloading follow the same rules as we discussed in the normal method overloading. If you don't know about what the normal method overloading is, then please follow the links given in the video description below. First you watch those two videos, then come to this video. We already have used more than one constructors in a given class with different signatures. This is called constructor overloading. As we know that in the method overloading, we have different methods in the same class with different signatures. Similarly, we have different constructors in the same class with different signatures. This situation is called constructor overloading. This is the Java file constructor.java which contains two classes, the class point and the class main. The class point has two instance variables of type integer and type float. Then after we have four different constructors of class point. The first constructor is the default constructor. The second constructor is containing one formal argument of type integer. The third constructor contains the one formal argument of type float. And the fourth constructor contains the two formal arguments of type integer and float. The execution starts from the method main, and the first statement in the method main is to create an object using the default constructor. So that's how while creating this object, we call this default constructor. So the values of the instance variables x and y getting created here are 7 and 8.9. Then after the second statement to execute is this one. Here we are calling the constructor with only one formal argument of type integer. Since here we are passing only one integer as the actual argument, so the constructor with only one integer as a formal argument gets called. So the actual argument 1 gets copied into the formal argument a. And the value of the instance variable x getting created in this line becomes 1. Because the variable a, whose value is 1, getting assigned into the instance variable x. After that we are printing parameterized constructor 1. If the constructor with only one integer as a formal argument is not present in the code, then because of this line, when we are calling the constructor with only one integer as actual argument, the constructor with only one float as actual argument gets executed. So if this constructor was not present, then this constructor would execute because of this statement. In fact, the constructor overloading follows the best match rules of the method overloading. If you don't know what are the best match rules in the method overloading, then find the video link in the video description below. Then after we are creating a new object of type point with the formal argument as 2.3f. Because of this statement, the constructor with only one float as actual argument gets called. So the actual argument 2.3f gets copied into the float variable a. And we are assigning the value 9 in the instance variable x of an object which is getting created here. And then we are assigning the value of a in the instance variable y of an object which is getting created here. So the instance variable x of an object which is getting created in this line is 9. And the instance variable y of an object which is getting created in this line is 2.3. After that, this constructor prints parameterized constructor 2. Then after we need to execute this statement. In this statement, we are creating a new object of type point with two actual arguments. Here there is only one constructor whose signature matches with this call. So the first actual argument, that is 2, gets copied into the integer variable a, and the second actual argument, that is 3, gets copied into the float variable b. That's how the local variable a to this constructor has a value 2, and the variable b local to this constructor has the value 3.0. That's how the value of a, that is 2, gets copied into the instance variable x of an object which is getting created in this line. And the value of b, that is 8.9, gets copied into the instance variable y of an object which is getting created here. After that, this constructor prints parameterized constructor 3. And in the last 4 lines, we are printing the instance variables x and y of the objects whose addresses are stored into the reference variables p1, p2, p3 and p4. Let me try to execute this code practically. Open constructor.java and this is the code. This is the same code as we seen. It should first print default constructor, then it should print the parameterized constructor 1, after that parameterized constructor 2, after that parameterized constructor 3, then after it should print the values of the instance variables x and y of an object whose address is stored into the reference variable p1. Then it should print same for p2, for p3 and for p4. So let me save and execute this code. Java C constructor.java. Compiles find, then run it. Java main, since the class name main contains the method main. It runs find and printing default constructor, parameterized constructor 1, parameterized constructor 2, parameterized constructor 3, and then the x and y's of the various objects whose addresses are stored into the reference variables p1, p2, p3, and p4. Let me remove the constructor with the integer as formal argument. Let me remove this code. Now in this case, when you execute this statement, the best match for the constructor call with only one integer as actual argument is the constructor with only one float as the actual argument. This is the best match for this call. That's how the program will print now. Default constructor, parameterized constructor 2, parameterized constructor 2, and parameterized constructor 3. For these two statements, the same constructor will execute because this one is the best match for these two statements. Let me save and execute this code. Java C constructor.java. Compiles find, then run it. Java main. It runs find and printing default constructor, parameterized constructor 2, parameterized constructor 2, parameterized constructor 3, and instance variables x and y of the various objects whose addresses are stored into the reference variables p1, p2, p3, and p4. That's all for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe this channel if you are new, and leave your valuable comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.